You want me to put that on my todger?
Political wife mode. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. It's repeatedly touted that Harry's wife has political ambitions, that one day Hail to the Chief will be played in relation to her stepping out of a helicopter and walking across the White House lawn. She seriously doesn't have the credentials, for many reasons, to actually achieve the presidency. There may be those that would like to puppet her into that position to serve their own agendas, but ultimately she's not made of the right stuff. Of course, I've explained to you on many occasions how politics attracts many narcissists because it is one of the key environments that caters to the prime aims, and often you have to be a narcissist to survive and do well, though not always, but a lot of the time, in such an environment. But Harry's wife wouldn't do. In the circumstances, she hasn't got it about her in terms of intelligence, charm, and also the way that her narcraft functions. Nevertheless, this doesn't stop analyses coming forward to suggest that she still has political aspirations, and this time the Daily Express, through Paul Withers, tells us Harry's wife goes into full US political wife mode in emotional Heart of Invictus scene. Harry's wife revealed her political ambitions in Prince Harry's new Heart of Invictus documentary series on Netflix. Interesting. Let us learn how she has supposedly exposed those political ambitions. It's according to a body language expert. Now, as I've explained before, there are things that can be read from body language, and there are some people who are very good at it. But many of them make mistakes by attempting to analyze a narcissist without understanding narcissism. A different set of rules, if you will, applies in those circumstances, and repeatedly individuals who don't realize that Harry's wife is a narcissist, or that they do but they don't understand narcissism properly, regularly interpret her body language and do so incorrectly because they're looking at it not through the lens of her narcissism. Let's find out if this body language expert falls prey to the same failings as many of the others with regard to this supposed political wife mode. Heart of Invictus, the 5-part series executively produced by Prince Harry that hit the online streaming platform on Wednesday, barely features the Duchess of Sussex, which will largely, of course, be good news to her detractors and shows that at least somebody in the creation of the film, or series rather, at least recognised that you don't need lots of her in it. But in one scene, she shares an emotional message about family as she took to the stage at the Harry's Wife's Games in the Netherlands in 2022. Harry's wife opened the event, of course, looking to take it over because it has to be all about her, the event which was founded by her husband in 2014, by paying tribute to the service and dedication from the veterans' loved ones. This gave an insight, apparently, into the former actress going into full US political wife mode, according to one body language expert. In the 4th of 5 episodes, Harry's wife is also seen thanking the family and friends of the former soldiers taking part. She says, "Thank you so much for your service, and thank you to all the family and friends who are here supporting you along the way, because this is service, this is dedication, and this is the Invictus family." Body language expert Ms. James said this small interaction demonstrated Harry's wife's 3 tells. She told The Sun, Harry's wife addresses the athletes and the audience using words and tone to suggest she is fully immersed in Invictus to the point where she is motivating, praising, and reminding them who they are. Well, Of course she would do so, because what she's doing is she's commandeering the character traits of what Invictus stands for: bravery, dedication, service, and trying to pass it off as her own through character trait acquisition and the demonstration of her facade. An event such as the Invictus Games is a useful opportunity for Harry's wife's narcissism. She looks to make it all about her, so she can use the games to control other people. See what a good person I am appearing at these games. She can then draw fuel from people's responses to her presence at the games, both being reported about, read about, and meeting and greeting people while she's there. She can commandeer the character traits during her attendance by showing that because she's there, she's all about service. Because she's there, she's all about dedication, and that she is part of the Invictus family. It doesn't matter, of course, that she has never served in the armed forces. It doesn't matter, of course, that she's not shown dedication to any cause other than her own self-promotion. And it doesn't matter that she isn't actually part of the Invictus family. What she's doing is piggybacking off what Harry has created. But this is all demonstrative of the absence of her boundary recognition, that she deems that it's appropriate that she can just squeeze her way in, inveigle her way into this organisation and say, this is service, this is dedication, this is the Invictus family. She doesn't know anything about those three things, not in a genuine and meaningful fashion, yet she commandeers them as if she's been involved in them all of her life. And that is the character trait acquisition that she engages in, which she then utilises for the purpose of the facade. The body language expert continues by explaining she uses the political trait of listing 3 points that always gets any audience clapping. Well, she's correct about the use of 3 things. Human beings, for some strange reason, are conditioned to pick up on things when they're in threes, and it's regularly used by public speakers to make a meaningful impact. Hansard, which is the parliamentary record of debates and speeches, etc., there was a survey done of their records which demonstrated that those that gave triple alliteration, for example, saying big bouncing bombs, their speeches had greater impact than somebody who might just say bouncing bombs. People pick up on threes. And clearly, whoever has been advising Harry's wife knows this and advised her to use that political trait of listing 3 points, as the body language expert picks up on. Harry's wife won't know about this herself. She'll have been advised. The body language expert continues by explaining, after her "good evening, everyone," with a slight inflection in her voice suggesting, "Yes, it's me." Now, the body language expert will have picked up on that correctly. The reason being, Harry's wife would present herself as if to say, "Look, everyone, it's me, the amazing Harry's wife. Aren't you lucky that I'm here for you?" She then pauses, giggling and turning her gaze round as the audience cheer loudly. When she does that, of course, she's turning her gaze around to drink in all of the fuel by virtue of people's reactions to her. Ms. James also commented on the emotional statement from Harry's wife where she says, "This is service, this is dedication, and this is the Invictus family." The body language expert analysed, each one coming with a precision downward point of one hand for emphasis, and each one making it sound like she is very much one of that family. The Duchess of Sussex has been tipped to one day enter US politics following a series of interventions she has made since leaving as a senior working member of the royal family, lobbying politicians for changes to parental leave, which went nowhere, and climate policy, which went nowhere. Last year, she was interviewed by feminist pioneer Gloria Steinem for Vogue, who she basically keeps around as a non-intimate secondary source friend for the purposes of acquiring her character traits, and she spoke about the US Supreme Court overturning the historic ruling from the Wade v. Roe case in 1973 on abortion, albeit, of course, in the interview you could see who the heavyweights were with regard to actually understanding the issues and who was just a hanger-on. Last month, it was reported that President Joe Biden's sister, Valerie Biden Owens, who is also his political strategist, has endorsed Harry's wife as a potential candidate for the hot seat. I wouldn't really take that as a ringing endorsement. The Duchess also topped a poll in which Democrats were asked which women they would vote for. She tied with Vice President Kamala Harris and was ahead of former Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton, which again is not exactly a ringing endorsement. But once again, notice these repeated attempts to keep her in the mix politically. She seriously believes that she could do a job in politics. Everything else points to the fact that she can't. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.